Back, I'm Gertie Rude. Back again in the Wednesday mood. Yes, I am. It's Wednesday, VooTubers. Well, it was last time I looked. Anyway, I thought what we do. I did something this morning. I don't know why. I just did it. And I thought I'd have a look at this tonight and try not to get so het up. Oh, dear. It's a pick and a poke, isn't it? Well, of course it is. It's the Marklet. Entitled Prince Harry, not important anymore. He wants privileges without responsibilities. Well, that sums up a millennial every day of the week, doesn't it, really? So let's jump in and have a look, see what's going on. Yes, got lots of rights, but no responsibilities whatsoever, my dears. Right, let's go. Where are we? It's your Eamon. It's your DB News. Look at them. Hello, Eamon.
And the King was joined by the Queen, Prince William,
yes,
and Princess.
Oh, that didn't go down too well.
At a Buckingham Palace reception last night,
which
traditionally heralds the start of the festive period for the royal.
Don't they look lovely? Can we just stop and have a little look? Let's move you. Oh, look, she looked lovely. She really knows how to dress, doesn't she, that young lady? Yes, she does. And Camilla's quite handsome for an old girl, isn't she, bless her? Yes, she's kept him off the bleeding streets for nigh on 30 years now, hasn't she? Yes, she has. I mean, can you imagine the world with Charles running amok, and no Camilla? Yes. Oh, I love that dress you're wearing, Catherine, Your Royal Highness. I am genuflecting, actually, as I feast my eyes upon such beauty. I really do. Now, if you really want to draw some sort of analogy, yes, between Diana and a certain person living nowadays, it would be probably Kate for her grace and height. Wouldn't it? Not the SpongeBob. Anyway, let's carry on. Where are we going?
The annual gathering welcomes over 500 members of the diplomatic corps
yes,
in the staterooms at Buckingham Palace.
Did you see them there being racist again? See, you can't let them out your sight for a second, these people. Soon as you turn your back, they're there, being racist, having racial conversations with racist people, they can't help themselves, racially holding hands, or what is it? Yes, hugging each other. Yes, he does seem to be holding her hand. Is he a racist? I think he might be. Is she a racist? Maybe they don't like racing, either of them, anymore. Apparently it's de rigueur nowadays, my dears.
Well, it came as Prince Harry's High Court challenge continued against the Home Office over his security protection whilst visiting the UK, and a second day continued.
They should call it the Dome Office, shouldn't they, with his great big barnet? Oh dear, devoid of everything, including brains, isn't it, his term? Yes, it is. Great big bling thing.
Challenging a ruling.
Here he comes.
Saw his security status downgraded after he stopped being a working royal.
Rafe Hadel-Mancou joins us now.
Here we go. Hello, Rafe.
And broadcaster. So
I like those little British Union Jack balls, or boar balls. I wonder whether the Marklet has those round her neck, because she wears Harry's boar balls, doesn't she? Yes, as a token of her domination, or dominance, or whatever the word is. Yes, I wonder whether she's had... Oh, no, she's probably got Union Jacks on, isn't she? Yeah, probably, knowing her. Yes, let's go, Rafe. Come on, Rafe.
An appeal against the original decision. Do you have any sympathy with him?
None whatsoever.
No, because actually this case boils down to essentially Prince Harry believing that he's entitled to all of the perks and privileges of royalty without any of the obligations and responsibilities.
Right, stop there. Round of applause from the whole country. Well done, Rafe, because I have heard a lot of commentators on here. Some are women of a certain age, some are people of other ethnicities, British, but you know what I'm saying. And they're like, oh, no, it's not fair. He didn't ask to be born royal. Yeah, he didn't ask to be born royal, but hey, move over. Give us all a go if you don't like it. Do you get me? Capiche? He doesn't know how lucky he is. And not only that, he might not have asked to not be born royal. He didn't ask. It's just voice. I didn't ask to be born literate, did I? But I was. There you go. It's the way it is. You just got to make the most of it. And anyway, he did ask to go and be private, didn't he? And he said, just call me Harry. So where's all this coming from? I know, but we're not going to say. Because apparently it's something or other. I don't know what it is. Gossip, something like that. But it isn't him, is it? Usually he just wants to sit there on his Xbox and play Final Fantasy. Doesn't he have a doobie outside now and again? That's all he wants to do. Or, the other thing, he likes to do juggling, doesn't he, my dears? Yes, when she gives him his balls back, he juggles them for her. He does. Obviously, she don't take no notice because she don't, do you know what I mean? It's annoying. And so, yeah, I don't know where this is all cut. Yes, we do. No, we've been there, Gert. You've already said that, and we do. The muchness. Come on. She wants a motorcade, my dear.
Pointing out that this is Prince Harry taking his father's government to court, and that's completely without precedent. We've never seen a royal do anything.
He's an absolute spoilt, bleeding brat of the highest order, isn't he? He is. He's a spoilt brat. Honest to God. You think anybody else would stop short of, like, taking the king to court, wouldn't they? You know, not Barry Barrington. Oh, no, she doesn't care. If he's not in the court, he's not happy. And I do think it's narcissism. Because any attention is just attention, isn't it? I mean, what we view as negative, he probably views as positive, and so does she. Because she can walk around gormlessly, can't she? Grinning inanely with her bleeding Shrek donkey teeth, can't she? You know, like she does, and annoys me. It's like I said yesterday, what was she doing? Did any of you see her? She'd been in Primark, she got herself some leggings, got some jippy old bleeding baseball cap. Oh, it's so majestic on her. Oh, yeah, she really wants everybody to take her seriously. Yes, she does. And then with that, she's in a car park doing yoga, sticking her legs up, showing her vagina to the world. It's disgusting, isn't it? I mean, you know, can you imagine Kate doing that randomly? Oh, hello, here I am. I've been to Primark, got some leggings, and now I'm just walking around the car park, sticking my legs up. I am. Mind you, as I said yesterday, it's a default position, isn't it? Legs up. Oh, dear. One tear, left eye cry. Go.
Like this. Now, of course, Prince Harry is alleging that he's been treated unfairly, as you said. That
he's always alleging something.
But the Home Office is quite clear and refutes that and says, you know, you are no longer a member of the working royal family, and therefore your security status must be downgraded. He alleges there are members of the...
In fairness, what he did before he left really wasn't working. Like they say, oh, well, he did the Invictus game. No, everybody else sorted it out for him, and he's the figurehead of it. You know, give him something to do, didn't it? Kept him occupied, made him feel good. I mean, it only goes on every other year, doesn't it? I mean, you could call that work. He wasn't really working before he left to not be working. And now we've had his tax returns. Him and her, between them, work an hour a week. Don't they? 52 hours a year. It's an hour a week, isn't it, really? And if you split that in half, that's half an hour a week each. Oh, no wonder they're so exhausted. Come on, everybody. That's why they need their private jet. They need all their Barbadian holidays. They do on private islands. They do. Oh, look at her. She's worn out. She's torn to a frazzle. Look at her, bless her. Cameras, hello. Oh, Barry.
Household who are sitting on the committee that revoked his security status, but they say, well, this would have happened whoever was sitting on the committee.
Yes.
And it seems quite clear, actually, that the...
Beige. Could I just ask you a question?
Beige lady.
Prince Andrew, right? So he's not a working royal now. Does he have a security?
No, because he lives on the Windsor estate.
Security has been stripped from him as well.
Oh, so complaining.
And he is also complaining about it, but not quite so vocally, vociferously. He's having discussions behind.
Yeah, but I do think that the York's daughters, Eugenie, Harry's first cousins, aren't they, Eugenie? Probably more Eugenie than Beatrice, but we don't know. We're talking out of school. And I should think they stoke him up and prod him on. I think between Eugenie, Beatrice, and what's her name, the Muchness. I think he's like, yes, he is. He's just like a pinball, isn't he? Go do this, Harry. Go do that, Harry. I'll hold your coat, mate. Go on. Go and make a bleeding tit of yourself to the whole world. Go on. Be a laugh.
Closed doors about this too, but certainly, you know, but it's not really an issue for the king. This is a matter, as always, for the Metropolitan Police and for the committee to look at. It's a matter of.
And the thing is, if someone tries to kidnap Andrew, who'd pay the ransom? Because we wouldn't. You know, they'd keep him. Do you know what I mean? Old Sarah, she'd be loving it, wouldn't she? She'd be like that, keep him. I'm not paying no bloody ransom. Oh, I'm still living off the bleeding Morty's and Budgie the bleeding helicopter. I can't help myself. So that's that. Anyway, it's a moot point because Andrew lives on the royal estate, which by virtue of being a royal estate has got its own security. So if anybody was lingering and loitering, yes, it's probably more likely be Andrew than anybody nefarious. Let's go.
And essentially, they said, look, you are actually getting royal protection. You're getting a bespoke level of royal protection, like any dignitary who comes.
Yeah, you should have just... You should have got a royal bleeding smack bum as a kid, shouldn't he? Smack bot. That's what you should have got. Yes, he should. He wants to be a royal dignitary wherever he goes all over the world. And to be honest, like I said yesterday, I don't think it's him. If you know anything about narcissists, it's her. She's the one that pushed him on. As I say, I think he'd be quite happy with a doobie, you know what I mean? Feed him every now and again, open the cage, throw some food in, he's happy. As long as he's got his Xbox or his PlayStation, he's on Final Fantasy, or he's playing, what is it, the other one they play, the war one? Duty, Call of Duty, something like that, where he thinks he can be a warrior. One of them, you know, he'd be quite happy. I think a lot of the time he's galvanised into action by his minder, you know, my dear. Yes, by his handler. Oh, dear.
Visit on its own merits, and you'll get the right level of security appropriate to that visit.
Yes, he's got the right level of security appropriate to that visit, which is basically bleeding none, which is the way it should be. As I mean, how many veterans that you see in shop doorways, right, sat there homeless and everything after serving in this country? They've got their own issues, this, that, and the other. Like I said yesterday, I think a couple of veterans were found dead in a tent or in a doorway or something in the freezing cold in London. What's this all about? Do they go and write a book giving themselves the Johnny Big Balls about how many people they, whatever, I don't want to say the word, but offed in the theatre of war? It just doesn't happen. So if he's got a security threat, it's so bleeding full, isn't it? I mean, he wrote the bleeding book. Oh, no, sorry, it was the Muchness, wasn't it? The Muchness wrote the book, you know, VooTube.
If you may remember, during the coronation, we waited for weeks, if not months, for Harry to say whether he was coming or not. Yes. And one of the reasons we heard was because he didn't think that the security would be sufficient for him. But it was fine for the President of France.
Oh, yeah, exactly, Rafe, exactly. And the thing is, when he did deign us with his presence and brought that whole thing with him, the old pit bull, going up the Mall, she wound down the bulletproof windows, didn't she? So everyone could see its moosh. Didn't it? Do you remember? Oh, security, security, security. And then when they were in Buckingham Palace, they were stood in the open window. I mean, if you know anything about security, you can't be that concerned about it, can you? Windows open and you're stood inside there. I mean, anybody could have got you, you know? A passing pigeon might have shit on the Muchness's dress again, like it did in Oprah's back garden, my dears. Yes, do you remember that? She's channeling Wallace Simpson.
The First Lady of America didn't have any problems with security.
Well, they would have had the same level.
Yes, for some reason Harry thinks that he's a special case.
Well, he is.
Has to realise, of course.
He is a special case. He's a very, very special case. And so is his bleeding wife.
He's no longer as important as he once was. He's suffering from that
problem.
Once a royal,
always a royal.
Well, he's suffering from that problem of younger brothers being second in line to the throne at one point. Now he's fifth in line to the throne. He's not that important. If he wants to have royal protection, he could easily hire former royal protection officers who no longer serve in the Metropolitan Police, either as part of his own security detail or as consultants to train his American team. They won't have guns, but apart from that, they'll be...
Exactly. He just wants to be all precious, doesn't he?
Of course, he is a special case.
He is special.
He's even more vulnerable by bragging about how many members of the Taliban
yeah, but he did it.
Book called Wow. I mean, spare.
He did. He did it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's not made life easy for himself, but it was his decision.
But I think that's why he did it, though, don't you?
Full well, if he wants that royal protection, he just has to come back within the...
I think that's why he did it, though, don't you? Or do you? Do you know what I mean? Let me know in the comments. I think that was half of it. Or how she put it in, maybe. Or got into... That's a good idea, Harry. Tell everybody in the theatre of war, what you got up to. What your... I don't want to say the word. What your rate was of offing people. Stupid thing to say. It's not very gallant, and it's just not a dumb thing in the armed forces. That's usually when you can tell a war committee straight off, because they start bragging about this, that, and the other. With the real people that have been there, you never mention anything like that. So, say Walter Mitty, a Harry Mitty in this case, haven't we? Because he wasn't out of that, but I'm not allowed to say. I'll get myself into loads of YouTube trouble. But, allegedly, again, he was in his bunker playing computer games.
The royal fold as a prodigal son returning back to his father. But of course, remember, California is far more dangerous than Britain is.
His father can have him and his father can pay for him. It's just we're not paying for him, okay? Get that through your dim heads, all of you. Not you, Rafe, but the rest of them. We're not paying for him. No, we're not. It'll be a revolution, my dear.
Not in London. They've had 4 American presidents assassinated. We only had Spencer Perceval as a prime minister, and that was back in 1812 he got assassinated. So if he's happy with his life in America, I think Britain's a much safer country.
Yes, well done, Rafe. That's my point exactly. And he went down to that rodeo in Texas, didn't he? Where everybody's packing a pistol. Some of them are carrying more than bleeding pistols. They've got, what's it called, open carry licenses and all this. They just strut around with bleeding Kalashnikovs. I mean, don't quote me on it, because I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. But big guns, And Off he goes, don't care. And he lives in one of the most violent places in the world. But as I say, it's like the Muchneys go, oh, we're worried about our security. As soon as she's got a bleeding crowd and she sees a few cameras clicking, she rolls the window down. I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you, VooTube? Anyway, I think I've said enough. Probably haven't said enough, really, have I? Or have I? Probably said too much. Anyway, have a lovely evening wherever you are, VooTube viewers. And I'll love you and leave you. Catch you soon. Bye.